5.
Oh, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hello everybody, welcome to Chaz Draycott Media, and welcome to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is a big one today. This is a very, very big one, not just in terms of the aircraft or in terms of the flight we're doing, but it's my first transatlantic crossing today, and admittedly there's going to be a few bits of this that are sort of taken away from the whole experience. I'm not going to, pretend that I'm doing this massive, huge thing and it's going to be the most colossal video you've ever watched. I'm going to be very open and honest about this one, but we are flying the Headwind Airbus A330-900neo today from London Heathrow to Boston Logan International Airport. We're in November 426 Delta Zulu. It's a freeware aircraft this, it's a free livery, it's a great bit of kit. It's based on the fly-by-wire A320neo characteristics, so from in the cockpit, it's basically an older version of the fly-by-wire, so I'm skimping out a little bit there, but I'm doing my first transatlantic flight today because, and I've not even practiced this, I'm just going to do it, I'm going to America and I will be at the Flight Sim Expo when this video goes live. I will be there in person with FeelThere from Tower Simulator 3, or with Tower Simulator 3 by FeelThere. I don't know what's going on there with GSX, I've literally just updated it this morning. But I wanted to mimic a real flight that I'm doing. I've done that for some of my commentary gigs before over here in Europe, and now I want to make sure that I do a transatlantic one and fly to the Expo, as I will be doing on an A330. I don't know if it's a Neo or a 200, but I'm going from Heathrow to Boston, and we're going to be doing that today as Delta 23 Charlie. This aircraft is great fun, but again, just to explain myself, I wanted to save using the 350 or the 777. Basically, since I've had this idea, I've not had long enough to learn both of those aircraft to do a video and do one of this scale with those planes. So they will be coming further down the line. I just wanted to use something that I already knew, basically. It's just a fly-by-wire with bigger weights, but still do a transatlantic flight with you all. And yeah, my first ever long haul and my first transatlantic flight. Another thing I'll be completely open and honest about is the fact I'm going to disconnect over the Atlantic. I have other things to do around the house today. It's going to be nearly an 8-hour flight, and I'm going to do it in real time without speeding the sim up. I'll be connected to VATSIM at this end and at the Boston end, but during the transatlantic crossing I will be disconnecting. I've checked and you can do that. You are allowed to. At the end of the day, I know about cell cal codes and stuff like that, but I'm not quite in the practice enough to do it yet, and I don't want to ruin anybody's day, so I'm going to do so responsibly at either end and make sure that I don't upset anyone. That's the main thing at the end of the day. I know how to do the stuff at this end and how to do the stuff at the other end, but yeah, we're going to be flying an A330 today. How cool is that? So jumping into the cockpit, I'm just going to whack the ground power on for now and just get everything set up here. We're going to get the strobe to auto, we're going to put the nav and logo light on, no smoking signs to auto, and arm the emergency exits. We'll put the, oh god, we need the batteries on, don't we, as well? We'll put the outer pumps on and put the crew supply on as well. As you can see, it is basically just the 320neo in here. I'm going to bring up the charts and show you the plan for today. I did Heathrow to Edinburgh the other day to just practice this aircraft basically and not do a transatlantic flight. But here it is. Look at that. We're on the transatlantic crossing D route today. Apparently it's not active yet, but I think by the time I've delayed to actually depart, it will be active and we'll be good to go. Into Boston, we're going to be just going on to ILS runway 15 right. We're going to be going by Adams, and we're going to do that. We're at stand 320 this morning at Heathrow, and yeah, wonderful to be in this huge aircraft. As the reviews will say on this livery, it's a little bit matte. It's not very shiny as liveries go, but I still think it looks fantastic considering it's a freeware aircraft and it is a free livery as well. It looks really, really cool. So yeah, big thanks to the people that have created it and made it possible, but god, the A330neo is a beautiful thing. The tower at Heathrow is just here, just to give you a bit of context as to where we are. There is Terminal 5 down there, and then you've got Terminals 3 and 4, I believe, in the middle here. So we're in this little cul-de-sac here. We're going to be on runway 27 right today, so I believe we're going to be going on that runway over yonder. So we're going to be coming out of here, basically, taxiing around there, and then down that way, down either Bravo or Alpha. I'm not sure if we're going to be given any clearance or have anybody online at the moment. According to Volanta, there is no one online. It's quite early in the morning here. It's not even 9 AM in the UK. But with that being said, we are going to connect to VATSIM this morning. So we are going to be Delta. Come on, Delta 23 Charlie. I'm going to put heavy call sign after. Okay, never mind. No, I can't. And we're in the Airbus A330-900. Oh, I want to put a VATSIM thingy code in. There's certain letters you can't use. I can't remember what they are. There's certain letters you can't use with your CellCal code, but I wanted to go for CD, which are my initials. Oh, what else? It has to be in alphabetical order. I think it's you can't use India. Oh no, you can't use them past a certain point. Foxtrot Hotel. Okay, so we've got our CellCal code. I'm not sure if there's anybody on at Heathrow or anything at the moment, but we'll go back into vPilot and just have a quick look. No ATC online at all. Okay, so let's begin getting things started. I've got a checklist over here that I need to stick to. I'm using my usual scratch pad that you can download from a link in the description. I've gone back and updated a few of the links recently because I stupidly removed the old one to stop people using it, and obviously that means that on all my old videos now the actual link doesn't work anymore, so I'm sorry about that. It is designed to be just downloaded as a PDF, so you don't need to have editor access or anything. We've had a few people recently asking for editor access on it, and I don't know why, because you don't need that. Just print it off and do this. I'm going to go via the fly-by-wire A320 checklist that I've been using for ages because I ran through it the other day when I practiced and it's just the same. So we're going to go up top then. We've done all the original setup on there. You know what I've done? I've done this again. I've not got the iPads turned on and I've got boarding started before this, so now I can't import the SimBrief data. We can do this though. We can do EGLL in there, and it'll tell us the pressure, so we can get that information in. It is 1013 at the moment. It's giving it us in the HG. What's that again? The departure that we're on today is the CPT3 Foxtrot departure. Let's get all of this set up as well, shall we? So, init request. It's going to look for it from SimBrief, which is good to know. We need to start the APU in a little bit. Not going to do that just yet. We've got the ideas going to nav and logo light on, strobe to auto, interior lights are just as they are. Seatbelt signs will come on soon, no smoking signs, auto, emergency exits armed. Fire tests, done that, fuel pumps, flight directors. Okay, so it is just the, what's it called? MCDU. So alternate is KJFK, Delta 23 Charlie. Cost index is just 10 today. We're cruising at flight level 360. And we are going to go into our flight plan, so EGLL. Departing from 27 right, and we're on the CPT3 Foxtrot. Is there a transition for that? It is CPT, but I don't think that we need to do anything with that. It's fine. At Boston as well, we are on the Ocean 5. Okay, and we're going to be on runway 15. Was it 15 right? Yeah, 15 right. Ocean 5, there it is. And it is via Adams. I think it was Adams. Transition Adams. Cool. Oh. Okay, Ajay. Nice. Banging. Okay, let me just check the entry and exit points to the route. It should be Limray, Rickhal. Cool, that's really good. Because basically on your route from SimBrief, I'll show you, on the entry point and exit point here, you get Limray, and then you get obviously the ocean waypoints as well. Then you get Rickhal as the exit point, and then you go to basically navigational waypoints from there. So boarding is continuing on in the background. Now we've got that sorted, we need to get into our perf, but we can't really do that until we've got all this in, I don't think, because we need to, in it B, in here, with the fly-by-wire system, you have to basically put in the weight from the aircraft once it's loaded. Now, it's not loaded on this iPad here, as you can see, look. Or can we do it now? Oh, yeah, so we haven't imported the data from SimBrief, so it doesn't know what to do. That's fine. We're going to have to wait for boarding to complete via GSX, and then we'll be able to do that. Let's just check the altitude on the departure, actually. It's a little bit scrappy, this, at the moment, sorry. We're on CPT 6,000 feet. We'll put that in and then check the initial climb clearance, shall we, actually? I don't know why it does that. On the fly-by-wire stuff, usually it's all very good, but on the Headwind it tends to do a bit of whatever it wants. Is there any initial climb clearance? As far as I can see, it's just initial climb is 6k. IRS aligned in 1 minute, it says on the screen down there. I'm super excited for this today, super excited. I don't know what's going on here. I've got a GSX profile for the IndyBuilds Heathrow, but for some reason it just doesn't want to play ball today, so I don't quite know what's going on with that. Like I said, I know I'm skimping a little bit by using this aircraft, but I wanted the focus of this video to be the journey and the route I was doing, and not the fact that it was a new plane, really, because it's not that much of a new plane from in here, the way it operates and so on. It's great that we're in an A330. I really do love flying the thing. I had a great flight up to Edinburgh to practice with it just last week, and I'm super excited to have this going on today. Now, I am going to disconnect over the Atlantic. As I've said, there's a few bits I've got to do around the house today in preparation for my trip to the US. I've got to load the things to pack and stuff like that, and obviously you want your house to be nice for when you come back. So, yeah, lots of stuff to do, but that's the joy of this, is that because it's in real time, you can set it to go while it's across the Atlantic. I'm going to switch over to my wireless headset, so when I can walk around, I've got this one here. I've got my SteelSeries headset, so I'm going to switch over to that so I can at least hear when I'm around the house. I also have Parsec up on my phone, which is something I use quite a lot, where I'll be upstairs doing whatever, and I'll have my PC screen open on my phone, so I'll be able to see what's going on. I'll usually have it focused on something like this when it comes to a top of descent or something like that, so I know when I'm about 40 miles away from that. I'll set timers and all sorts. It's just about being responsible, or as responsible as you can be when you are out of the aircraft, basically. Let's just check on GSX how many people are boarded, because it takes a while. Okay, 322 out of 344. She's telling us it's too small, but this gate is made for heavies, so don't know what she's cracking on about. We'll just go outside for a second, have a beauty shot. I think what's going on with this tug here is the fact that it's not on the ground. There's another one. Yeah, look, there's a vehicle underneath it, basically, that's part of the scenery. Bit weird. What else have I missed, then? Oh, there's boarding complete, so we can now pop this on, get the sim brief data in. Beautiful. We can now load the aircraft as a result of that, so we can just go bang, bang. I want it instant, please. Thank you. Payload instant.
Boarding completed.
Yes, it is. Not a full flight today, though. We've got the fly-by-wire boarding sounds going on, so we're going to remove this. We're going to lock that cabin door. We're going to put things like the predicted wind shear on. We're going to put our squawk code in. We need to clear that first, Chaz. Put that on auto. That's on TA. Okay, cracking. Run 122.8. Everyone's going to be boarding in the back, and yeah, now we have that 6,000 feet altitude in. It's working. Good stuff. So are we ready for pushback? Are we ready to cross the Atlantic Ocean? Like I say, I'm not doing it fully properly because I want to make sure that if I'm going to do all of that on VATSIM, I know how to do it properly before I go up there. Let us start the APU, shall we, before we get moving? Good stuff. We should have APU available soon, then we can disconnect from the ground power. And before that then, or after that I should say, I think I'm trying a little bit too hard to speak smoothly and quickly today. We'll pop the APU bleed on, and we will get prepared to get moving. We'll put seatbelt signs on. Well, they're on auto anyway. That is all golden. And yeah, I think we're pretty much ready to go, are we not? So windows and doors, are they all closed? We'll remove the jetway to make sure.
This parking is too
yes,
small
yes.
for your aircraft.
Whatever. Beacon light will go on. We've got to make sure the thrust levers are in idle. Let's just ensure that we've got those calibrated properly. Yeah, it's a bit weird on this for some reason. It doesn't show the reverse axis, it just does that. So I don't quite know what the score is there, but we can go over to the iPad and we can calibrate them on here. So if we go sim options, throttle detents. So yeah, look, idle, climb. Hang on, let's just make sure. Climb, yeah. Flex, beautiful, toga, crack him, reverse idle, which will be about there, yep, it's basically a little bit of reverse and not much movement, and then reverse full, which is the only one I really need, and that's when I pull it all the way back. Good stuff. So, I think we're ready for pushback and departure, don't you? Ah, no we're not, we need to do this. We need to put the zero fuel weight in, and the block fuel for today, which is 43.9, so 44 tons. Bang him. Okay. It should calculate the rest of that on there. We need to do our perf. So what flap settings are we going to be on today? Is it got the calculator in here? No, it doesn't. Okay. So if we're going to be flap 1, we'll say flex to temp, oh god, 65. Does it know the V-speeds for us? Yeah, 153. That's heavy. Let's just go to, is it prog? Yeah, flight level 360. It knows that already. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Are you? Are we all good? Let's click prepare for pushback and departure, shall we? Yeah, shut up. So we'll turn the external power off. We've got the APU on. We've got the beacon light on. Seatbelt signs are on. Thrust levers are idle, parking brake is set, external power is disconnected. Okay, so we'll just say Heathrow traffic, Delta 23 Charlie, preparing to push back, stand 230. Hello. God, we're so much higher up.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Okay, so nose right, tail left, we will go.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes are off. Or should be. Hello? Oh, have you disconnected again? Christ. Ah. No. Heathrow traffic, Delta 23 Charlie, stand 230, delay and pushback for a few moments, having slight technical.
Commencing push.
Okay, well I've clicked it on there for now, but yeah, that's mighty frustrating. Let's see if this... Yeah, so the middle section of my TCA Captain X-Pack thingy works, but not the other side. Let's go engine number 1, shall we, everybody?
Please set parking brakes.
I would if my buttons worked. Christ. Okay, so we've got one engine started, all good to go. Let's get that second engine on the right-hand side, shall we?
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Okay, this big old wagon is ready to go, but the parking brakes, the flaps, all that isn't working at the minute, so I'm just going to spend a bit of time trying to get that to work again. Okay, I think I've got it working now.
Whoa!
What was that? What on God's earth was that? Let's check on... Okay. Strange. So flaps will have a take off before we taxi. Taxi light goes on. We can turn the APU off now. APU bleed comes off. We're going to do the auto brakes. We're going to put the auto brakes onto max. We're going to do our takeoff config test and all that when we get going. Cool. Let's just figure out our taxi route then. So we're going to be going via Golf, Bravo. Do we go onto Alpha? No, I think people come off at Alpha, don't they? So we'll go Golf, Bravo, Lima, Alpha. And we'll go full length. We'll go Alpha 3. We have pushed back onto Golf from stand. Oh, I said 230. It's 320. Whoops. Heathrow traffic, Delta 23 Charlie, taxiing runway 27 right via Golf, Bravo, Lima, Alpha. Parking brake off. Let's go. Let's get moving, everybody. The A330-900 says seatbelt signs should be on. They're on now. I think it's because they were on auto before. Check the cabin. Fantastic. Spoilers armed. Beautiful. And we'll do a takeoff config test when we get closer to. Handles quite nicely on the ground, this thing. It feels as big as you'd expect. But it's great to be flying a heavy. And doing it on a video as well. I hope you guys seriously enjoy this thing. I know from in here it's not very different, I know, but you know, I'm open and honest with you about these things. I'm not going to pretend like this is a massive change. It's the flight itself that's the important thing here. The A330-900neo that we're flying is not really the star of the show, to be honest. It's just nice to be in a heavy. And it's great that, you know, these free aircraft, they give you a chance to do long hauls like this to a pretty comprehensive standard. It doesn't claim to be a study level aircraft or anything, but I tell you what, it's mighty good based on the fly-by-wire systems. Just have a check there's no one around. Okay. So we're going Golf Lima Bravo Alpha, not Golf Bravo Lima Alpha. Those Pratt & Whitney engines better do us a good job. I think they're Pratt & Whitneys, aren't they? PW 9000Gs. No one on their way. A little bit offline here, but that's alright. Got quite a turn to do. As we go up Bravo. Aircraft there on 27 right. I think they're a departure. We saw them taxi out earlier, didn't we? Yep, there they go. Cool. Okay, let's get on that centre line a little bit better, shall we? We'll taxi down Bravo nice and slowly here, keeping it nice and tidy.
Heathrow traffic, speedbird 48 Charlie uniform, pushing back gate 508, facing north.
So make a little right turn here on Bravo. What terminal is that on the right there? That's like the weird little tram thing, is it not, for all the cargo that goes down? I don't know. It's weird. It throws you off kilter when you're flying from these airports. It throws you off kilter with where everything is. It's really strange. Let's do a takeoff config test, shall we? Takeoff config is normal. Fantastic. Okay, so we're looking for holding point Alpha 3. So we are going to go left on Lima next up, and then onto Alpha, and then hold at Alpha 3. So this is Lima. No line here. I think I've had this issue before, have I not? No taxiway line here for some reason. Not sure if you're not supposed to come onto Lima this way or something, but for some reason the lines just aren't here. So we've got some arrivals on 27 left. We're obviously the only departure on 27 right at the moment. So Alpha 3 is just in front of us there. Pop the runway turn-offs on. We'll pop the landing lights on in just a second. Strobe's going to go to on. Oh, if it works. Okay, so before takeoff, we need to just check everything. Let's come to a stop. Heathrow traffic, Delta 23 Charlie, holding short 27 right, Alpha 3. Should be Delta 23 Charlie heavy, but okay. Let's park here. Just do a quick check before everything else, because this is going to be a big old undertaking. This nose light will go to take off. We'll do that now. Put the landing lights on now, because why not? It's only one switch on this for some reason. I don't know if that's the same as the real thing, but yeah, strange. Strobe light on, and yeah, beacon, nav logo, all that stuff is on. Runway turn-offs come on. Smashing. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready to take off in a heavy for the first time in my flight sim videos, effectively? I've done it before. I obviously flew to Edinburgh in this recently to practice, so it's not the very first time I've done this, but yeah. Heathrow traffic, Delta 23 Charlie heavy, departing runway 27 right. And it is heavy, very heavy. 43 tons of fuel, which is nearly the gross weight of the A320 that we very often fly. I do plan on eventually getting into doing more long hauls, but I had to make sure that I did this one before the Flight Sim Expo, so that this video came out while the expo was on and while I was there in person after doing this flight. Building up to 50%. Makes some pretty good noises, this, considering it's a freeware aircraft. Nice and stable, let's go. Okay, Manflex 65 SRS runway, auto thrust is blue. Bit of downward pressure. Already doing 90 knots. It's incredible the performance of this aircraft. For something so big, it is a right old speedy wagon. 120 knots already, still hand on the throttles. 140. V1, and the A330 takes to the skies. Get up, pig. Positive rate, gear up. Goodbye, Heathrow. Cool. Okay, we'll report when passing 1500. Lever will go into climb not long after that, I imagine. Awesome. Big, steep climb, this. Heathrow traffic, Delta 23 Charlie heavy, passing 1,500 feet. Have a great day. There we go. Lever is into climb. She's not moving around a lot. She's been very well behaved. We're only on flat 1, so when we get past that orange mark, we'll be good. We're going to do a slight left turn here. I've got the refresh rate on that screen very low, but as you can see out the window, look, the actual frame rate is quite tasty. Aircraft is speeding up now. I'm going to pop the autopilot in. Smashing. Okay, so after takeoff checklist, flaps have been retracted. I'm going to turn the runway turn-offs off and the nose light off as well. We'll keep the seatbelt signs on. The packs come back on, they never went off, and we'll disarm these speed brakes. Never put that to TARA, let's be a good boy. And yeah, that is that. Aircraft is climbing nicely, let's get some beauty shots for you. Okay, so we're going to go into standard pressure. Still at 6,000 feet. Cruise altitude today is flight level 360. I'm really pleased. Let's pop that on. Not that it's going to be much help at this point. Predicted wind shear can come off. What else? We'll turn the seatbelt signs off. People can move about now if they want. We're still below 10,000 feet, so we still need landing lights on. We'll turn the range up on this. Making a nice little right turn here. But yeah, as I've mentioned, I know this thing isn't too different from what we've seen before. It's another Airbus. It's a very similar cockpit. It's not quite as different as the A350 is, but the main gimmick here is the flight itself, the journey that we're doing in this gorgeous, gorgeous aircraft. Haven't done any interior shots from the windows yet because the shadows are doing some strange stuff back there, so it's going to be more those wing shots, if anything. But yeah, I hope you enjoy them all the same. We'll stay at 6,000 feet for another few minutes, but we're going to put 36,000 in there. Got no other clearance to worry about, so we're going to put 36,000 in. Click the dart on the aircraft. Will climb in just a moment's time because we've got the restriction. Look, it's got altitude constraint, climb, so it knows when we get to that point we're going to go up and we'll get to 36,000 feet. Oh, why would you listen to that? It's moaning at me about predicted wind shear, but I thought you'd turn that off after a bit. We're nearly at 10,000 feet now, so we're going to switch the landing lights off. And wow, what a great racket those Pratt & Whitneys are making. Sort of clean howl about it, but there's a bit of a grunt underneath, a bit of a growl going on. We're hitting 10,000 feet now and continuing on with the climb. I'm loving this so far, absolutely loving it. I know the aircraft isn't that different, but at the end of the day, it's a heavy. We're on our way across the west coast of the UK, I'll show you on here. We're going to go across the west coast, we're going to go over Wales, and then over Ireland for a little bit, and then into a transatlantic route, and then over at Rickhal, down over the eastern part of Canada, and then in on our arrival. Look at all that. Wow. Pain, pain, pain. They're such powerful engines, these. They're only not even using 90% in climb to get us up there, and they're climbing at 2,000 feet a minute in an aircraft that weighs, God, how much? Oh, gross weight, 203 tons. An aircraft that weighs 203 tons is gaining 2,000 feet a minute, and it's only just using 90% of its throttle output. That is savage. Absolutely savage. I know there's some airlines that have had issues with the Pratt & Whitney engines. I think Air Belgium returned or basically said they didn't want their A330-900s because of issues with the Pratt & Whitney engines. But I'm not 100% sure if that's what these have got on it. If we go on data, can't remember what it is. Here we go. So we've got the Trent 7072 engines. So I think it's the Pratt & Whitney engines that have had the issues. It's gone really cold in here all of a sudden. Wow, we've got a nasty headwind. Look at that! 90 knot headwind at 20,000 feet. Goodness me. We're just going over, well, near Weston-super-Mare, I imagine. And Bristol. Bristol's down that way somewhere. I think that might be Bristol Airport even. It's on there somewhere. EGGD. Bristol is just over there. To our left-hand side. Hello, George. Hello, Dave. But we continue on this fantastic climb up to 36,000 feet. The aircraft is taking it all well within its stride. That was a hell of a whistle, wasn't it? I've just noticed this scary statistic which says the estimated fuel on board is minus 8.5 tonnes. Is that just because it's based on the current usage, so when we're in cruise it'll go down? So we've used 5 tonnes already. But I suppose we're on the climb, so we're on the most fuel burning part of the flight. Currently at the moment we're using 2 tonnes. We've used 2 tonnes, sorry. Where does it tell you your current usage? Oh, there you go. Per hour, 4 tonnes. We're not going to be climbing for another hour because we're at 31,000 feet, so thank God for that. I'm going to keep my eye on that because I thought 44 tonnes didn't sound like a lot, but listen, minus 8.2. Now 8.3. Estimated time of arrival at the moment is 15:40. Well, it's moving around all over the place. About 4:45 Zulu, which is 4:45 here in the UK at the moment, which is perfect timing to be honest. But that means it's going to take up my whole work day. But either way, I'm delighted to be doing this. Absolutely delighted to be doing a transatlantic flight today. As mentioned, there's no ATC on over the Atlantic at the moment. There's no controllers over there, so I think I should be okay. I'm not confident enough to do that, so I'll disconnect and reconnect with, what's it called? Responsibility later on down the line. Okay, we're getting close to 36,000 feet now, just about to reach it, and then we will hear the announcement from the cabin, from the fly-by-wire captain. We've got a 93 knot headwind. It's ridiculous. The estimated fuel on board has come down to minus 9.7, but that's going to change. UTC arrival has gone to 15:58, now 15:59. That's all cascading down, but it'll be fine once we get to cruise. And here it is. 36,000 feet. We're up here.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the flight deck, your captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As we begin to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your feet and elbows clear from the aisle as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley cards shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating near the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
Yeah, with quite a hefty headwind, we are still using 2.7 tonnes an hour, which is a lot. It's a lot of fuel. So I'm wondering how long this is going to last fuel-wise. That might be a bit of an interesting development. It says minus 9.7. If things get absolutely dire, we can always just put more fuel in because that's how the fly-by-wire works. But as far as I know, we got the right amount in. We had 44 tonnes in. Block fuel is 44 today, so yeah, I'm not quite sure what miscalculation is going on there, but we should be okay. 38 tonnes to go. If it's 2,000 an hour, or let's say 3,000 an hour, I'm not in the air for 10 hours. So that's just a miscalculation based on the fact that we're still in cruise, I think. Still, as mentioned, we are now in cruise. I'm going to go and get a drink and stuff, go and chill out for a little bit. I'm going to switch over to my other headset so I can keep an eye on things. And yeah, I will catch you again very soon. Okay, we're getting up to the Limray waypoint, which is where we're going to be basically entering the transatlantic crossing. We are over the Atlantic now, I'll show you. We've come here west of Ireland, and we're going to enter the transatlantic crossing sort of track now, track delta, and we're going to make our way across here and then get to Rickhal. At this point, I'm going to disconnect from VATSIM because at the end of the day, if anybody comes on halfway through, I'm not equipped enough to be able to do this on VATSIM. I'm not going to be disturbing anybody's day by doing that up here, so yeah, I want to do the responsible thing, disconnect while I can. I'll use VAT glasses, VAT spy, whatever else, to check who's around when I get to near Rickhal, so I know what the situation is when I reconnect, and then go responsibly from there. Also, I've noticed I've got a friend request up here, Zigster. We are now friends. So we'll open VPilot, and we will disconnect for now, and now we are basically in offline play as such, as we cross the Atlantic, and yeah, this is the long bit now, and oh, just to update you as well, this is now coming down, look. Estimated fuel on board is now minus 3.8, and the UTC arrival time has come down quite a lot as well, so we're doing alright for time and for fuel. Now we're using still 2,700 per hour at the minute, but that's alright. No problem whatsoever, that is, because we're going to be in the air in the cruise for maybe another sort of 4 and a bit hours, maybe nearly 5 hours. So that's only going to be about, what, 15 tons? So we'll have 15 by the time we come out of that, and then we'll just be gliding down. So yeah, enjoy the cruise, everybody. I'll be back with you very soon. Okay, just a little update from me then. We are currently halfway through the cruise. We are at the moment, let me show you, halfway, at least halfway across the Atlantic. But in terms of our journey, we're probably only just getting to about the halfway point with distance now, I'd say. We've still got a long old time once we get to Rickhal. Still got a long old way to go from there. That's another few hours, that, to be honest with you. Because if you think about it, if you go from Manchester to maybe Spain, that's about 3 hours, that distance in a straight line. So that's probably, I don't know, maybe about 2 and a bit, maybe 2 hours. So there's still a long way to go, basically. Okay, we are not far from Rickhal, as you can see here on the waypoints. We're about to get to Rickhal, which is the exit of the transatlantic part of the route. We are then going to reconnect to VATSIM. I'm going to just bring up the little thing on here that shows us everybody on VATSIM. As you can see, there's not really anything online other than an aircraft behind us. Are they at a similar height, though? Ooh, they are. But they're a while behind us. They are quite a while behind us, to say the least. So we should be okay with that, and we will reconnect, and I think we'll be all good within their within that distance to them. Okay, we're back in the cockpit. We've got a 72 knots crosswind at the moment, and I'm about to reconnect. So we're going to connect as Delta 23 Charlie A339 CDFH as our CellCal. We are on. We'll have a quick look on the outside camera just to see if we can see the other aircraft anywhere near us. The answer is no. They would be here somewhere, I imagine. And as far as I can see, nothing. What a beautiful aircraft this is, though, the A330-900neo of Delta. I'm really excited to see if I'll actually be on one of these on Thursday, or whether I will be on an A330-300 or a 200. Either way, it's my first time on an A330 that I know of, so I'm excited for it. We are now back on VATSIM, though, and we need to consider the fact that we have 160 miles before anything interesting. So we've got a long old time on our way down. The top of descent is going to be after Ajay, so that's not going to be too far away. Although, actually, no, when is Ajay top of descent? Oh god, we've got a long way. Let's just head into here. Top of descent is 800 miles still. So yeah, estimated fuel on board is 1.9 tons, and that's going to continue going up as well. It just flicked to 2 as we went off that screen there. But yeah, we've got decent progress done so far. Looking on here, you can see still got a while to go. 15:45 Zulu estimated time of arrival, and we've got, what, another 4 hours left to go yet by the look of it. Is that right? Zulu 15? No, sorry, I can't do maths, can I? It's another 2 hours and a half before we get in. I hope you're enjoying this very different flight, though. I know that the video may not be much longer than one of my usual flights, but at the end of the day, there's no benefit really to adding in additional length to the video for you guys to just basically, I don't know, I can't even think of how to explain it, but you know what I mean? There's no point making the video that much longer to coincide with the flight. I mean, look at people like Air Force Proud 95. I love the bloke, very funny pilot. He does, you know, 9-10 hour flights in 15-minute videos. So I hope you enjoy the length of this video still. You know, I don't like to skimp too much on a lot of the setup and a lot of the actual flying that we have to do. And I hope it's still just as enjoyable as any other. Obviously with the added impetus that it's my first ever transatlantic crossing. Just had a quick check on Volanta as well, and the aircraft that is behind us on VATSIM is a good few minutes behind, so it's of no stress to us or them. I'm sure, to be fair, they probably didn't even notice that we've reconnected, but yeah, there's not a massive amount still to do up here. To be honest with you, we've got a long old time before the top of descent. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware when I reconnected to VATSIM. We are now just about to go over the east coast of Canada, but it's not like you can really see it. You can see a little bit down there. There's a little break in the clouds. There is land. Land ho! We actually see land. So there you go. Shut up, Chaz. Where I'm saying that you can't see it, you can. There's definitely too much cloud down there for us to see. Oh God. But yeah, we have land over to our left-hand side, and that be Canada. I have crossed the Atlantic Ocean. Sure, I've not done it to full VATSIM spec. I've not done all the communication or any of that stuff and learned about ACARs and all of the CellCal stuff, but you know, this is a safe way to still do it if you want to fly it and you're not too worried about it. Obviously don't go and jump on and do something like this during a cross the pond event. If you're going to take part in that, make sure you know it well enough. I've just crossed the Atlantic Ocean. I've not been sat here, you know, fighting the plane the whole time to do it, but how cool is this? It is, well, 3:30 actually is the estimated time that we're going to get in there, and at the moment it is 1:20, so we've got about 2 hours and 10 minutes until we get in. We've got a long old way before the top of descent as well, so I'm going to leave you with a few more beauty shots at this point, and then when I've got about, I don't know, usually it's about 60 miles to the top of descent, we'll start really figuring everything out and get going. So I'll be back with you soon. And back into the cockpit we go then. Not too far from the top of descent just now. Or are we? Is it going to tell me on there? No, clearly still a while yet. Is it written on there? Okay, we're still many miles away. What? Am I being stupid here? What am I missing? We're still moving. What? Hang on. Wait, what? Okay, so top of the actual arrival time has come down a lot. Top of descent is in 339 miles away. Okay. Oh, surely I thought we were closer than that. But no, we've got 125 miles to Ajay, then top of descent 13 miles after that. Okay, so we've got still a good old while to go. She's looking wonderful. She's going wonderful. We've got 9 tons of fuel on board. Estimated fuel on board at destination is 4.6 tons now. So it's just a case of basically while you're powering along, it calculates on what you're using at the time. So when we were climbing, obviously it thought we were using a load more fuel because it reckoned that that's how much we were going to use the rest of the flight. I'll show you where we are. We've come all the way across here, and now we are here, heading in towards Boston. We are really... I'm struggling to understand how this works. That can't be right. It's a lot longer than that. Yeah, because it's 3:15 in the UK right now. and it's 2:15 UTC. So top of descent is actually at about 5 to 3 Zulu. So what's that? 5 to 4 UK time. So it's in, yeah. Well, I need to stop thinking about UK time. I need to just do it on UTC, don't I? So it's UTC is 2:14 right now. Top of descent is at 2:55. So we've got about 40 minutes till top of descent. We're going to start doing a little bit of preparation though, and I'm going to use the little checklist thingy as well on here that I've got. Not touched this in so long, it's so weird. Obviously landing lights and stuff come on later when we get to below 10,000 feet, seatbelt signs and all that. So we can just start putting in some information in here. So if we go to the perf page, we'll go to this. So Q&H, 30.06, that's in HG. How do we convert that to be 10? That's not something I thought about. I'm going to Google HPA to HG converter. Pressure conversion. 30.06 is 1018. So we'll put 1018 in there. Do they do temperatures in Fahrenheit as well? No. Good. 27 degrees C. Nice and warm down there. Flipping heck, I hope it's that warm when I go. 110 at 7 on the winds as well. One thing I have noticed about this aircraft is it's very loud in here. We'll also look at the minimums for the arrival on ILS runway 15 right. Minimums are going to be 267. Put that in here, 267. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to go full flaps. Let me tell you, this thing stops quickly. When I flew it at Edinburgh, my God, didn't even use full runway at Edinburgh stopping this thing. Reverse was out and it was awesome. Absolutely awesome. Nobody online from what I can see. There is tower on at JFK. We've just about skipped a centre on here, which is Montreal Centre. If you look here, we've just about skipped through it a tiny bit. We're not going to be going anywhere near them. There is also Cleveland Centre, I believe that is, online as well. There's a lot going on in Europe right now. Loads of tower, loads of ground. London Centre's online as well. Manchester's gotten busy. It's kicking off over there in Europe. Well, I've gone west and gotten away from it all. Can't believe that we've done this flight though. It's so cool. At the moment, we've been. Oh, where does it say that you've how long you've been in the air? Obviously, our airtime in the aircraft will tell us. Well, 6 hours since we got moving. It reckons it's about 7 hours 45 minutes block time. That's what was on SimBrief anyway. But yeah, we'll continue on then. So we've done our initial prep. We've got the details in on here into that final part, into the arrival phase, or the approach phase I should say, and then we'll just obviously keep our eyes on that as we now make our way in. The top of descent is still in a long old way. We've got a good, well, if we go on the prog page, perf page, top of descent 294 miles, so 5 to 3. Actually, let's look at the arrival, shall we? There's an interesting idea. Whoa. Okay. So Ajay, flight level 290 or above. Nico 11,000 or above. We're going to be then going Ocean, and then, oh god, which way round are we going? Grigio, Hanover, Roadhawk, and then Tuckman. Okay, so let's have a quick look at that then. So we're going Ocean, Grigio, Hanover, Roadhawk, Tuckman. Okay, so 5,000 feet it wants us at Tuckman. So I'm going to go to, I'm just going to put 5,000 in at Tuckman. I'm going to tell it to go all the way down and let the aircraft deal with the restrictions on the way in. We've not got any ATC on or anything like that, so there's nothing to tell us otherwise. Have we even put that on? Oh god, we're still basically on this. Okay, so we've not got anything to worry about for quite a while yet, anyway. Bit of disclosure, I've just checked outside the aircraft and I just saw the Speedbird 777. Look, where have they gone? There he is, look, alongside us at a very similar speed and a very similar height. I've not had any contact between the two of us. I did message earlier to apologise and say I'm sorry if I reconnected a bit close, hopefully no disturbance. And yeah, there they are over to our right hand side, just about gaining ground on us. I think they're slightly going over to the right a little bit because they're going to JFK, so they're going to be going a little bit more to the right than us. But yeah, very interested to see, innit? How cool. Okay, so we're still 80 miles from top of descent. We're going to get 5,000 feet ready in the box on here. Doesn't take as long to scroll on here as it does in the 737. We're going to ask the aircraft to go just down to 5,000 feet, basically. Just to recap on the charts, it's going to look a little bit like this. We're going to come in here, AJ, down to down to Euro, then to Ocean. And then we're going to go Grigio, I think it's Gorgio, Bridget, Hanover, Radok, and then Tuckman. Lovely scenery, it's looking fantastic. It's very, very clear over this side of the Atlantic Ocean, so it's nice to see that we get a bit of the... Oh my God! Oh, he's got back to me. Absolutely no problem, enjoy Boston. I just said, thanks very much, scared the living daylights out of me, have a good one into JFK. And he's just replied saying... Cheers. Very British. What was I saying? Can't remember. Yeah, sorry. I know. This is the very flat side of the United States. It's mad. I saw, I think it was almost pretty much a meme about it a while ago, how the whole east side of the United States is pretty much flat, and it's the west hand side, the west end of it, that's very hilly. I don't know if I'll go finding the meme or not, but hopefully I could put it up at this point. But if not, just have a quick look for yourself. I think it's a topography graph or something like that. I can't remember. What's topography? I'm going to Google that. Yeah, it is a topography graph. I found the very thing. Look at that. How mad is that? That's a topography graph of the United States. It's so weird when you see it like that, because I imagined that like all this bit was hilly as well. And then it was sort of, I don't know, for some reason in my head I thought it sort of started over here and it sort of went down this way and then back up there. But it's just so mountainous on that left-hand side. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, we're in the very flat east side of the United States. No hills for us to worry about over here, really. Still, we are over the east coast now and heading down towards Boston. Still, how many miles till we get in? 200 miles left to go before we get in. But the arrival time has come down a lot. I think we'll be there at 3:15 UTC. So in about half an hour's time, actually. So not bad at all. In fact, there it is on our screen. We're going to turn right and then basically turn into the ILS. Very exciting stuff. Okay, we're getting to that top of descent just now, everybody. So we are 13 miles away. I'm going to click it a little bit early and get that in. Making a slight left turn here. Feels like a good time to do it. Let's click it in 5,000 feet and begin our descent into Boston. I'm so excited about all of this. So excited. 6.5 hours in the air at present. And we have maybe another sort of half hour, 25 minutes left to go before we get in. The aircraft knows there's a restriction at flight level 110. We're going to slowly descend below profile just to get ahead of the curve a little bit, and we'll be in soon. Going to reduce the I'm going to keep the range on that, actually, keep it on airport until we're a bit lower down. Obviously we need to think about, in case anything happened, where could we look at going. But yeah, we're on our way into Boston. I mean, we have been for a while, but you know. Good God, she's really diving. We're doing 5,000 feet a minute down. We've somehow gone over profile. This aircraft does strange things on the descent. It really does. I noticed this into Edinburgh. I've heard other people say it as well. Look at that. The fuel usage now is barely 200 kilos an hour. So that's gone way down. I think it's just going ridiculously quickly down to catch up with profile, and now it's going to shallow out. I mean, it's shot through profile, but flipping heck. Goodness me. Okay, if you want to do that, if you want to get down that quickly, that's fine, but I mean, I'm alright at 2.5, thank you. There we go, it's really smoothed it out now to about 2,000 feet a minute, and the speed is now coming down to below Mach 0.8, which is quite a nice speed to be below, I guess, in something as big as an A330. Going to gradually bring the range on that down now to 80 miles, because that's what the airport is within. Nobody online or anything from what I can see, no centre or anything to worry about. We've got tower and ground now on at JFK, but they're of no concern to us. There's a number of aircraft moving around and departing from Boston. It looks like they've departed on... Oh, somebody has departed on 4 right, which is weird. Ah, it's changed, look. Okay, so arrival is 4 right. Okay, so we need to really sort this out now. This is not good. Okay, so let's go Boston. We are still on the Ocean 5, aren't we? Okay, so we can still do Ocean 5. Let's change this now to 4 right. Okay, that's still fine. Transition is still AJ, ILS 4 right via Goshi. Okay, cool. Cool. Via Goshi, that's fine. Yep, AJ, bang him. All right, nice. Let's clear that. Oh, okay. Clear that. Clear that. Not allowed in nav. Okay. Alright. That's fine. Let's just have a look on plan here. Let's just figure this out, shall we? So we're going to go Sufi. So, okay. So we've gone Ajay. Now Sufi and Nico. Okay, so we've already gone past Ajay. That was my mistake there. Okay. Going to go that way and then down and in. Alright, sound. We have sorted it out. Scared me a little bit there. I didn't know how much of a diversion we'd have to do. We're going to go for medium auto brakes today as well, by the way. Aircraft is managing the speed and managing the descent nicely. We're at 20,000 feet. We've got some altitude restrictions to think about. Yeah, all will be fine. Tell you what, you have to give it to the aircraft for how well it got back down again. Let's just go back into here, pop that to 1018, square it up for Drew, just to make sure, because it is, well, it was 1018. What is it now? 30.06. Yeah, that's still 1018, and 110 is the winds. I think that's what we had last time. Yeah, 110 temp is still 27 degrees, is it not? Cracking. Okay, that's all stayed the same. That's nice for us. We're going to be, we're actually below profile at the minute. 8,000 feet below it, which seems odd. I wonder whether it's just because this has got a different profile. Let's see if it knows what the constraints are. Yeah, it knows the constraints. We want to come out at standard pressure to 1018. 18,000 feet. We're going to put the seatbelt signs on now. Everyone needs to sit down and shut up and chill the F out. Let's put that down to 40 miles and make our way in. As I've mentioned though, the Headwind A330-neo is a free aircraft. It's a great aircraft. You know, it opens up long hauls to those of you that want to do it for, well, that want to do long hauls anyway. Not that you necessarily want to do them for free. But, oh, why are we... Oh, we need to do this. We need to go direct ocean. Oh no. Okay, so we've had a drama here. I didn't realise that that's what it was doing. Okay, so maybe it hasn't gone perfectly planned. I did wonder why the descent path was so massive. We'll do this circle and we'll lose a bit of lose a bit of height here. The aircraft should start this turn. I think it's dropping speed first as a priority before making that turn. Should have maybe kept a bit of a better eye on that. I suppose because we changed the arrival, I just expected it to just do it. That's not the case. We're turning right now though. As we've lost that speed, we're just going to make a big circle around here. That'll help us lose some height. I could just tell the aircraft go straight to that waypoint, which is Terry. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let it do the circle because that'll get us extra track mileage basically and allow us to lose more height. Whoops. Okay, so we need to be below 14,000 there and above 9,000 there. I'm actually going to tell it go direct to Terry now. I'm going to tell it go direct there. We need to just be above 9,000 there at 250. We're at 250. The aircraft can lose that height in that time. Listen to that noise. Listen to it grunt. Yeah, you need to be down there, silly plane. Yeah, what you doing? You being silly. There's some water over there, apparently. We're getting there. We're figuring it out. It wouldn't be a Chaz flight if something didn't go wrong, would it? Estimated fuel on board is still going to be about 5 tons. Estimated time of arrival is going to be 3:20. So in about 14 minutes' time. Is there different Unicom etiquette over here? Don't really know. I didn't really look that up, to be honest. There's nobody online or anything, though, so yeah, we just got to basically do similar call-outs. Making a nice left turn here at Terry to head down towards water. And then Flutie is next up on the arrival. Let's just check that the charts are all the same, or the sort of Ocean 5 arrival is similar, because we told it 5,000 feet at Tuckman. We need 6,000 feet now at Jobby, and then we'll turn in and get onto the ILS, so we need to change that to 6,000 feet. Yep, it knows 9,000 feet. We're below profile by 2,500 feet anyway, so we are doing absolutely fine here. I don't think there's too much to worry about at this point. I think we're a bit far out to say something about Boston traffic, although 60 miles to run. We'll tell them. Boston traffic, Delta 23 Charlie on the Ocean 5 arrival for 4 right. Still 60 miles out, just letting everybody know. Boston traffic.
And I was muted the entire time, American 45444, departed runway 04 right, Boston traffic.
It's almost like my message reminded that guy that he needed to speak on Unicom. So, where is Boston then? It should be just, oh god, over there. There it is. That is Boston Airport there. It's Flight Sim scenery that I've got. I'm excited to show you all when we get in. I loaded the aircraft in, made sure that it all worked and it was fine. No weird lumps and bumps or anything. It all looked absolutely lovely, to be fair. I've got a GSX profile for it and stuff. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this. I've done a lot more recording in this video than I would do. Obviously, it's a bigger time frame, so a lot more recording has gone in. I don't know how much longer the video will end up being as a result, but I hope you are really enjoying this. My first transatlantic flight, and I wanted to record my very first one as well. As I pointed out at the start of the video, I know that I skimped on a few things, you know, I sort of chickened out a little bit and used this aircraft, but I didn't have enough time to learn the A350 or the 777 before this. I want to save those as well for their own videos further down the line, and obviously I want to end up flying things like the A380. I'll be at the Expo when this video has gone live as well, so hopefully I'll have met the wonderful people from Bluebird Simulations who have the 757 coming to Flight Sim, which will be absolutely awesome to fly. And maybe I'll do a transatlantic thing in that as well. Maybe something Iceland Air related, I don't know. Making the turn now, there is Boston. Boston Logan. Obviously it's not loaded around it in full resolution at the moment, but yeah. We are making our way in. And I am getting super excited. I'm going to pop the landing system on now, just make sure it knows what we're looking for. 110.3. Right, I'll give you some more beauty shots while we're on the descent, and if anything happens, obviously I'll pop into the cockpit to let you know. The aircraft is descending quite quickly. We're at 7,000 feet at the minute, just a little bit above profile. Perfect time for us to choose a gate for when we get into Boston. I know which one I want to be at, and it is Echo 8 I want to go to, so I'm going to write that down on my scratch pad that I haven't touched in about 6 hours. Where's my pen? I don't even know where my pen's gone at this point. Have I put it in my pocket while I've stood up and walked off? I don't know. Oh well, if you can't find the pen you've been using, grab another one. My Bellevue Speedway pen out. So it's Echo 8 that we're going to be going for. Off runway 4 right. So we're going to be probably getting off at Yankee. Going via runway 33. We'll maybe go down Mike Foxtrot. We'll go via Yankee, Mike, Foxtrot. And then in on Alpha, I believe it is. Let's just check on the chart, shall we, for taxi. Where is it? There should be just one called airport. Is there anything about Alpha or Bravo? Oh, what's that for? Fuel left wing tank low level. Yeah, okay. How far are we? 30 miles. Boston traffic, Delta 23 Charlie on the Ocean 5 arrival for 4 right. Still 30 miles to run. Just letting everybody know. Boston traffic. Okay, 6,000 feet now. We want to be at 6,000 at Goshi, 210 knots. The aircraft will now go in a straight line, basically. Let's just make sure that the QNH is still the same. 3005. Let me get that chart up to convert that. 3006 is 1018. 3003 is 1017. And here we are, the United States. I've obviously flown in the United States before on Flight Sim, but not into it from the other side of the pond. All this way over, and I'm very excited to be here. We're on the manual part of the flight plan now, so we're just going in a straight line. Still got 5 tons of fuel on board, so we'll be absolutely sound. If we just look down here, actually, if you go to the Init B page, you go to this, you can see extra time is 22 minutes. We've got an extra ton on board. So we're going to go past Goshi, then tell the aircraft to turn towards Goshi. We're going to go flap 1, just to give the aircraft a little bit more lift. There you can see the diamond for the ILS as it goes in the opposite direction. Not long to go before we'll make our final turn in. Noticing some pretty horrible tears in the ground around in the scenery, which is a big shame, but it looks great from up here, so we'll stick with that as our view. We should have landing lights on at this point. Yes, I know. Yep, left and right wing tank. Yep, all good. Landing lights have gone on. Should have gone on a while ago, to be honest. We've now gone past Goshi by quite a distance, so we're going to ask the aircraft to go directly there. So direct to Goshi, please. It wants 210 knots, so the aircraft will slow down some more. For some reason, it's speeding up to 250. Let's tell it 210. Thank you. You do as you're told now, pig. Boston traffic, Delta 23 Charlie, turning towards Goshi for 04 right. Still about 20 miles to run. Boston traffic. 28 miles actually, but it's alright. Okay, so we're flap 1. Landing system on. 6,000 feet in the box there, but we've got a... Oh, when do we intercept the ILS? What height do we intercept it at? That's something we should check. We intercept 6,000. Oh, no, we don't. No, 1,700 we intercept at. So should we tell it 1,700? I think we should. And now it's got the restrictions in there, so it goes 6,000, 4,000, 3,000. We'll be absolutely sound here. We'll stay at 210 knots. We'll go to 180 knots when we get a bit closer. Let's just look at the range. Yeah, 25 miles to go. Cool. Okay, so we'll check the cabin. Probably do that a little bit later, but that's fine. And we'll soon get up to profile. Airport should be just over there. There are the landing lights. Fantastic. The landing system's on, so we'll click approach. There we go, Cat 1 wobbling about a little bit here. Maybe overcorrected slightly. Yeah, it's got altitude constraint, descent, then glide slope. Auto brakes are set to medium. We'll arm the ground spoilers at this stage as well. Okay, more than happy with this at the minute. Must admit, touch wood, the Headwind A330-900neo has been brilliant. There is the diamond for the glide slope. That'll be all this way down here now. It's not just going to be from 1,700 feet. Localizer has been captured. We've got a 20 knot crosswind. There it is, glide slope. Aircraft is descending. So we'll tell this now. We'll bring this down to 290 knots. Slow the plane down even more. So it'll bring us under the flap 2 setting, so we can put flap 2 in and just drag it down for a little bit. Ready? Just about to get to those orange marks now. I'm on about these little ones here. And then we'll bring in flap 2. Just above flap 3 speed. When we've got 15 miles to run, we'll let them know. But as Drew has always told me, it's usually 180 to 6. 180 knots until 6 miles. But basically with this, I'm just going to do 190 because it's just above that flap setting. Just keep the aircraft moving a little bit. And then we'll go gear down at 6 miles and go flaps full. Put the aircraft into VAP. The VAP speed today, is it like 134 or something? V139. We're nearly 15 miles out. Boston traffic, Delta 23 Charlie, Runway 04, 15 miles out on the ILS. Boston traffic.
Delta 23 Charlie, please use the CTAF.
Say that again, sorry, last station calling.
You should be using the CTAF at Boston.
Apologies, maybe overlooked things in procedures here. Does that not mean I'm okay to continue?
Yeah, it's okay, but you should be using the frequency 128.8. Boston is faster, the CTAF trial.
128.8, I'll change over to that now, thank you very much. 128.8, CTAS. Uh-oh, Chaz has done a naughty. Am I going red? Probably. Let's just check. Did he say CTAS or CTAC? Don't know. Boston traffic, Delta 23 Charlie, runway 04, 12 miles to run on the ILS. Boston traffic.
Boston traffic, Speedbird 51 Bravo. We're going to go ahead and scoot up for you on runway 4 right. Boston.
Boston traffic, JetBlue 418, about 35 miles out, ILS 4 right.
So there's an aircraft taxiing out, I believe. Speedbird, they're going to be lining up for 4 right to depart. Got an aircraft over to our right, according to TCAS. I think they're above us somewhere. Suddenly this has gotten busier. I did not know about that frequency. That was not something I knew about. So apologies everyone. I know some of you probably knew that beforehand. And if you commented that before getting to this point, shame on you. We're above glide slope here, which is not good. Oh well, we'll put VAP in. Aircraft will go idle. We need to get down to that glide slope, son. Is it just because I'm going too fast or what? There we go, the aircraft's dropping speed now. Let's bring the gear down. See if that'll help. There we go, now the speed's coming down. Okay, next notch of flaps.
Boston traffic, Speedbird 9, Lima Alpha, reaching Joby and continuing for 4 right.
Boston traffic, Delta 23 Charlie, runway 4 right, 5 miles to run. Full flaps. We're a bit high here.
Boston traffic, JetBlue 418, be number 2 behind the Delta.
Yeah, I'll keep going until I'm behind the JetBlue 418, Speedbird 95. Live off.
After that.
We're a bit high here. What is
Boston
that
traffic,
tear all
Speedbird
about there?
51 Bravo, passing 5,000 clear, runway 04 right, direct Boston 7. Boston.
Taking the autopilot out, we're going to go diving after it a little bit. Get big piggy down, come on. Not got the time to get this wrong. Well, as we said, wouldn't be a Chaz flight without something going wrong, would it? Let's get on that glide slope. There we go, 1,000. That's where I'd normally call it in. A little bit over to the right. Catching up to that glide slope now. Aircraft should power up for us. Get us back on it. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, I don't know why it went so high over the glide slope. Maybe just because we were going too fast. We're a bit over to the left now.
$400.
Whoa, we're having to move around a lot here.
100 above.
There we go, we're going for it now. Get it back in. God, this is a shoddy landing, Chaz.
Minimum.
Yeah, continue. Whoa, big kicker rudder.
$50, $40, $30, $20. Retard. 5.
Oh! Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Whole thing's frozen. Whole thing is completely frozen. No, 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 no. It's get those reverses out. Jesus!
West traffic's about 9,000 miles for turning base.
What on earth? That was a massive... That wasn't even like a stutter. That was a complete freeze. Well, we somehow had it still on the runway. Wow. Boston traffic, Delta 23 Charlie, vacating runway 4 right. Massive stutters then. Apologies if that caused anyone any issues.
You're too kind.
I'm too British. Right then. Well, clear of that, we're going to go 3-3 and we're going to turn left onto here straight off the bat. Jesus wept. Let's get those flaps up. And welcome everybody to the other side of the Atlantic. Welcome to Boston Logan International Airport here in the United States of Freedom. That was certainly Larry, wasn't it? That was certainly Larry. We've got a Speedbird making its way out of here in just a moment. They were lining up just after us, I think. We're going to do our after landing checklist as we just roll down here. I think this is Mike that we're rolling down now. We can disarm these spoilers, which we have done. That goes to TA. Predicted wind shear comes off. Nose light goes to taxi. Landing lights come off. Runway turn-offs come on. Nose light just needs to go to taxi, not take off. Is there a Speedbird or anything lining up? Can't see any other traffic, in fact, at all. But there's Boston Logan. Just making sure that we've got everything done. So after landing, speed brakes have been disarmed.
Traffic jumping 418, 10 mile final, 4 right.
Engine mode goes back to normal. It never went out of that. Flaps been retracted. TCAS standby. Predicted wind shear off. APU and the master switch and the start switch go on. Landing lights off. Nose light taxi. Strobe light goes to auto. Runway turn-offs come on. Okay, cool. Let's get GSX ready at stand. What did I choose earlier on? Echo 8. Echo 8. So let's just look where we need to taxi now. We need to go across Mike, Foxtrot. Delta 23 Charlie crossing runway 15 right. Okay, and then we need to, this is 4 left. So we need to make sure that we can get across here. I don't know why we had that massive stutter. I also don't know why I can't see anybody else's aircraft, but there are other aircraft on the ground here with us, but we just seemingly can't see them. It's really weird. I'm just gonna have a look. Yeah, there are other aircraft. There's some Jet Blues just over here. You can just see the top of their tails, and there's also a big Lufthansa around there. So we're all right in terms of other aircraft rendering in, but I think the Speedbird that was going to depart after us isn't showing up for some reason. I think they might have already departed. I think that's why I can't see them. Yeah, he has actually. Speedbird 51 Bravo has already gone. He's at 13,000 feet. Delta 23 Charlie, crossing runway 4 left. Boston traffic, Delta 23 Charlie, taxi and stand Echo 8 via Yankee, Mike, Foxtrot, Alpha.
Boston traffic, JetBlue 441 is pushing back from gate Charlie 25, Boston.
It's meant to hear some proper American accents from over here. So we're going here, Foxtrot, and then we're going to go on Alpha. Which is going to be the next right-hander. I realise that I'm probably sat above the nose wheel of this aircraft, so I need to sort of extend past these taxiways like this a little bit and overdo it and then swing it in like that. I don't know. Let's go on the chase cam and have a look. It doesn't really work like that, does it? I quite like how smooth that chase cam is, actually. But well, welcome to Boston, everybody. I know that it got a little bit leery at the end there. The landing was pretty poor. Interesting arrival, interesting flight. It's taken me all day. It's 4:30 now. I started this about half an hour after Charlotte left for work this morning. She will have just finished work now, and she'll be here in about 45 minutes' time. Crazy how that works, but it is what it is. I've been doing other things around the house. I've been preparing for my actual trip to this, and I hope if you are at the Flight Sim Expo, you've had a great time with me. I'm going to be there as well. It's going on while this is live, and obviously if you went to the expo and then watched this afterwards, I hope you had a fantastic time. And obviously I hope that you've sincerely enjoyed this video. This is my first non-charter in a while. I've got 11 more charters queued up after this. I'll be churning them out. Not sure if I'm going to do more than one a week at any point, but we'll hopefully get there at some stage. Let's have a look then at some gates, shall we? Echo 8 should be along here somewhere on our left-hand side. 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's 6. Oh, it says over there, look. Thank you very much to whoever that pilot was as well that reminded me of it being 128.8 rather than 122.8.
Number 14 across, taxiing the gate, Charlie 30 via November crossing 4 left.
Okay, so taxi light will come off. Runway turn-offs will come off. And we will turn into Echo 8. Swing it in. The big wagon. When I parked this at Edinburgh, when I practiced, by the way, it was brilliant. And I got a 0 and a 0. That tug is clearly not supposed to be there. I do have a GSX profile for this place, so I'm not sure why that's not working. Cannot see the operatives' numbers either. Oh dear. Well, all the positioning of all the things was working earlier. Let's go there. Okay, cool. Parking brake is on. He's waving at me for some reason. What? Oh, he wants me to turn the engine off. Either that or he wants me to... So parking brake is on, APU is available, nose light is off, runway turn off is off, engine masters 1 and 2 will now come off. God, the camera's been right. God, that noise is loud when he does that. Engine 2, engine 1. Okay, let's get the beacon light off. And we'll bring these seatbelt signs off as well. And we'll now get GSX on and request deboarding. Jetway should come over today. Please. I'm going to try something here that I've seen before. Watch this. Boston ground. And then ground services. If you don't have GSX working, or if your GSX jetways don't work, do that. Because trust me, at most airports, it works. For longer jetways in particular. It might get a bit funky if any of these pieces disconnect, but you know what? It works. It appears though the jetway hasn't made it all the way over to the aircraft though. Oh well. Still, welcome everybody to the US of A. My first transatlantic flight complete. A little hiccup here and a little hiccup there, but these things are bound to happen in such a large time frame. I hope you've enjoyed it either way, and obviously in time I'll do more long haul flights and hopefully improve as time goes on. But this was a real experience today, it really was. I know that I was doing other stuff around the house and preparing for other things, but still, knowing that the flight was going on and knowing the length of this, you know, I started this morning when I can't even remember half the stuff that I said at Heathrow this morning, but now we're here in the USA, and yeah, I don't really know what else to say that I haven't said already, but I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this. I certainly have as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in another episode very soon. Have a great day.